Welcome to the Know. I'm Mica, and I'm not dead! I heard you guys thought I was dead. I'm not, I promise. And if you have been waiting on an update for Hideo Kojima's mystery project Death Stranding, it looks like we've got the tiniest bit of news. Kojima tweeted this weekend that tests for the game are now underway, writing, "Today I was able to see the good result of testing DS. I think I will have a good sleep tonight." And in other news about the game, the official Kojima Productions Twitter account also confirmed that the company is also currently attending SIGGRAPH this week, along with members of Guerrilla Games, to show off some of their latest work with the game's Decima engine. So far, they've demoed the powerful engine's new lighting and anti-aliasing techniques developed for Death Stranding, and who knows, maybe we'll get to see some more this week. We're all crossing our fingers for more naked Norman Reedus. After all the controversy over PUBG last week, creator PlayerUnknown is finally speaking out about the decision to add crates and keys into his game. In a new blog post on Steam, Brendan Green said that he owed it to fans to talk about the future system and admitted that the messaging wasn't very clear or handled very well. About adding the system during early access, Green said, "While our intention was and still is to add the full feature to the game when we move into actual release, we do need to test it prior to launch and at early access so that it's stable and ready to be fully introduced into our community. The idea of testing prior to full implementation is at the heart of adding every new game feature in our game, and this includes the crate and key system, which we believe will serve as the foundation of a healthy economy after launch." Green also commented on the criticisms about free cosmetic items going away, saying that free cosmetic items are still being discussed internally and may make it in the final game, so don't freak out, guys. Several analysts have been naysaying the future of Microsoft's Xbox One X, but they finally got someone in their corner, Ubisoft. CEO Yves Guillemot talked up the upcoming console in a new interview with GameSpot, saying it'll be good for all of gaming. When talking about the Xbox One X, Guillemot commented that he's happy that Microsoft went in the direction of more power that will help out this fall's Assassin's Creed Origins, for instance. Guillemot said, "We like that because it means the industry will grow because the better the experiences, the more people will want to have it. We think it has good potential. If Microsoft is really behind it, it can do well." One of Xbox's biggest exclusives is finally out today after a very long wait, and it's Tacoma, which also happens to be available on PC, but you know, whatever, exclusive. And right on cue, we've got our very first reviews of Fulbright sci-fi follow-up to Gone Home. It's currently holding at an 81 on Metacritic at the time of writing, with a fairly broad range of opinions. The general consensus is that it offers a nuanced tale of a mysterious space station with intriguing characters and interesting branching narratives, but it doesn't do a great job of tying it all together, and unfortunately, at times it can be kind of boring. GamesRadar writes in its 4-star review, "While some of its threads don't always come together as neatly as they should, Fulbright's sophomore effort is quiet and a haunting examination of the ways corporations dehumanize us all. So it's like Prey without the monsters and a lot more talking, if that's your thing." GameStop employees are up in arms over their holiday hours this year because GameStop just announced in their earnings call this week that they'll be open on Thanksgiving Day. The company later confirmed the announcement in a statement to Kotaku, writing, "Many of our store associates and guests have asked for this. We have heard their requests and are making an adjustment to our previous position on this topic." If you hop on over to Reddit to see how those store associates are responding, surprise, surprise, they're really pissed off. Many are currently calling bullshit on the announcement, with dozens of comments from employees who would rather have the time off. A lot of that is because in the past, GameStop has taken a pretty hardline stance on not being open for Thanksgiving and have spoken out against the practice on multiple occasions over the last couple of years. But apparently that almighty dollar eventually lures them all away, so sorry to those employees who won't be getting turkey on Turkey Day. Get ready for mass DMCAs because it looks like Sony's PS Vita has finally seen its biggest hack yet. According to modder group Team Molecule, they've created a new hack that allows for a permanent jailbreak of Sony's handheld, opening the door for your own firmware, emulation, and yeah, that whole piracy thing too. The new tool is called Henkaku, and it manages to circumvent some of PS Vita's major protections. Previously, with other hacks, the Vita could reset itself after each reboot. However, Henkaku's hack allows for the handheld to be jailbroken forever. Oh, Sony is just going to absolutely love that. Just kidding, they're about to throw a huge hissy fit, so stay tuned for that. But don't worry, everyone, boobs and dongs are back on Steam. Everybody rejoice, everybody break out the confetti. Kind of, so maybe keep that confetti in your hands. Well, last week, controversial sexy party game House Party was pulled from Steam following pressure on Valve from third parties that labeled the game as pornographic. Fortunately for developer Eek Games, they've been able to come to an agreement, but maybe, unfortunately for some fans, most of the naughty bits are completely gone. House Party has been reinstated with censor bars to cover up all that sex. But if you're dying to see all those glorious pixels the way the Lord intended, just bouncing and bobbing all over the place, you are free to download the uncensored patch the developer just put up on their website, which is how most of these games get around Steam filters anyway. I mean, we all remember back in the day when we uncensored our Sims, right? Sony had their fun ruining Spider-Man and emojis, and now they're coming for our anime. Sony Pictures TV Networks has just announced that they've acquired 95% stake in animation distributor Funimation. You've probably heard of Funimation, but you know, just in case you haven't, they were the distributors of titles like Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, and Your Name. Sony Pictures said in a statement, with the acquisition of Funimation, the combined intellectual property of Animax, KidStation, and Funimation allows us to deliver the best anime to fans across all screens and platforms. The acquisition deal valued Funimation at $150 million and leaves Funimation founder Gen Fukunaga with a minority stake in the company. So get ready for those emoji crossovers. Getting hacked isn't the only problem HBO has been dealing with this week. They've also had to address mounting criticism over their recently announced show Confederate, which sees Game of Thrones producers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss helming a series about an alt-history US where slavery continued after the Civil War. A massive Twitter protest went down during the most recent episodes of Game of Thrones, which finally prompted a response from the network. HBO said in a statement, "We have great respect for the dialogue and concern being expressed about Confederate. We have faith that Nichelle, Dan, David, and Malcolm will approach the subject with care and sensitivity. The project is currently in its infancy, so we hope that people will reserve judgment until there is something to see." In a previous interview, David Benioff said, "You know, we might fuck it up, but we haven't yet." Sick and tired of all those terrible Michael Bay Transformers movies? Well, what about a prequel set in the 80s that stars only Bumblebee? Well, thankfully for that one internet commenter who's been asking for exactly that for years and years, it seems Paramount heard your prayers, lonely dude at your computer, because that movie is coming out in December of 2018. According to Hollywood Reporter, the Bumblebee prequel pick, directed by Kubo and the Two Strings' Travis Knight and starring Haley Steinfeld, will also feature another star.
And his name is John Cena!
So get all those GIF makers warmed up, internet, because this movie is sure to put them to good use. I just want like John Cena riding in on Bumblebee. It's gonna be amazing. And speaking of GIFs, it looks like someone's finally thought of a way to monetize our favorite thing on the internet, because Giphy is apparently about to start testing sponsored GIFs. TechCrunch reports that soon Giphy will add sponsored GIFs to search results, so a TV show, movie, or brand could serve up some GIFs for you when all you wanted to see was Pikachu wishing a tearful goodbye. In some ways, this should be no surprise, as Giphy has recently achieved the milestone of 200 million daily active users. So yeah, they were gonna figure out at some point how to milk all of that. Thanks for ruining GIFs, Giphy. They were fun while it lasted. Well, that's all the news we have for you today, and remember, for more news from every corner of the internet, including that dusty, cobwebby one, we, once again, don't know why we don't clean up that corner of the internet. Remember to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know. That the company is currently SIGGRAPH? SIGGRAPH, okay. And in other news about the game, the official Kojima Productions Twitter account also confirmed what the game's, what? Decima engine, fuck, okay. Can we go back up? I'm just gonna do the whole sentence. While our intention was and is to add, oh, and still is.